Okay, so if you break down or you get a flat, the first thing you need to do is stay calm. Panicking is not helpful at all. Don't slam on the brakes. So specifically, if you get a blowout while you're driving, the last thing you're going to do is slam on the brakes. You're going to stay calm. You're going to ease off of the gas and put on some indicators so that other drivers know that you're in distress. If you need to pull to the right, then put your right directional on, and then when you get to the side of the road, put your hazards on right away. And then really important is if you're on a road with traffic, never never get out of the car on the driver's side where the traffic is. That is a huge mistake, and too many people do that, and it's incredibly dangerous. If you need to get out of the car, always exit on the passenger side, away from the traffic.
I see too many cars that are on the side of the road and they don't have any illumination on, except maybe like the inside the dome lights on, but the hazards aren't on. You have electricity, so please turn those lights on. Is there anything that people forget to do in the aftermath of a problem, whether it's a mechanical situation or an accident, that could help them stay safer or make dealing with insurance or roadside assistance easier?
Yeah, for sure. Document, document, document. Write it down or take pictures, put notes in your phone. And I mean like everything. Your car, the road, the other vehicle, if there is one. Write down really what happened while it's still fresh in your mind. And then if there is another car involved, don't forget to grab the driver's information, like not just their insurance, but their license and their registration, because those details will make dealing with the insurance company later just so much easier. Do it now while it's fresh in your mind in the moment.
All right, let's talk about emergency kits a little bit. What should people keep in there's some must-haves you can think of, especially during winter, if people live in a place where that's a big problem, or just a place with an aggressive climate, we'll call it.
Must-haves: jumper cables, a flashlight, an extra, like a charger, a cell phone charger that's not connected to your phone. Like if your car dies, you still need to have connectivity. You definitely need a first aid kit. And we're talking, a tire inflator or a can of the Fix-A-Flat. And, depending on, the seasonal stuff, I don't know how it is in LA, but here in New York, that wintertime gets really cold. So having gloves, we have snow. So if you're getting caught in the slush, maybe some kitty litter, would help to get out, for traction in the event that, we're slipping and sliding. Definitely an ice scraper in the winter.
I'm also a really big fan of those lithium ion jump boxes. I had a battery that was going bad, and it was kind of like in the last couple months where I wasn't sure, is it the connection? Is it corrosion? The battery was just old. But if you live in a rural area or you don't want to flag down strangers to help you jump your car, it can just be a time saver. And a lot of times these lithium jump boxes also have ports where you can charge your phone. So it's independent from your car's battery. So it can do a bunch of different things.
I totally agree. I'm going to add one add to that, which is to make sure that is charged up. Being stuck on the side of the road is no vacation.